Peace and blessings, all members of IsisWisdom.com and the whole entire internet. Today, I want to discuss a topic that has been long overdue to be discussed, which is called racism and prejudice. One of the things that I wanted to point out, and it's just hit me, like I had to record it because it just hit me out the blue. I had to sit back and I had to think about a few things like, what is the significance of the United States? And why was racism more prevalent here than in any other country in the world? Now, of course, other countries have racism, okay? But this one in particular had laws in place to protect white folks and continue the whole white supremacy thing. And it has dawned on me that racism and prejudice is the biggest wool hoax that has been put over all of humanity, and the most deadly and the most destructive. Now, think about this for a minute. Racism, prejudice. Whoever thought about coming up with the concept of we're going to divide the people according to their religion, according to their skin, color of their skin, according to class, in other words, how much money that they make, according to their creed. Whoever came up with this idea must have been a genius. But more importantly, let's go back and look at the significance of the United States. The United States was, quote unquote, a free country when it was, quote unquote, founded by the European Christopher Columbus, even though they came here and slaughtered millions of Indians to make that happen. But more importantly, this country is one of the free countries in the world that has its own military, a very strong military, and not only that, the people in this country have the right to bear arms. Now, think about this for a minute. In the times that we're currently living in right now, with the way things are going, if you notice that the number one weapon that media uses is now the race war, the race baiting. And there are people who have been indoctrinated with racism by their forefathers. You know, the forefathers taught it. They created laws to secure it. People have been indoctrinated with it, and people have been carrying their ideologies and ideas of racism for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. When in all actuality, if a man is going to be judged, he should be judged according to his character and not by the color of his skin. So then you have to ask, what is the major agenda here? Why continue to keep race baiting in the major media? Well, what would be the number one thing to be able to stop the New World Order agenda? It's for people to come together. It would be for mass amounts of people to come together as a collective and say, we're not going to take this shit anymore from none of you bastards. But because people have been indoctrinated with everything that's going on right now, people don't have the capabilities of being able to come together and work together as a collective. When you look at the grander scheme of things, none of this shit matters. You got black people perpetuating prejudice because there's no way on the planet they can be racist because we don't own any of the economics in this country. Buy, sell, and trade. We don't own none of that. So we're prejudiced. White folks, on the other hand, they perpetuate racism, white supremacy racism, meaning that they have a system put in place that will sustain them and have their self-preservation always in check first before anything else comes, near that. So to the white folks, I just have to ask, now that we have a black president in office, and now that Bush sold you down the drain, because that's exactly what he did long before Barack came in. Barack just getting ready to ride it right. He's just getting ready to ride it right on out. I just want to know, are you guys aware that your forefathers had already planned the demise of this country like hundreds of years ago? Like, do you guys realize that this was already set in motion? Do you realize that they needed you to perpetuate the white supremacy system so you wouldn't come together to go up against the government? Like, do you realize this? So I'm just sort of wondering, like, when are you guys going to start? When is everybody, not just you guys, when is everybody going to just wake up and do away with this racism, do away with this prejudice? You know what I'm saying? I just want to know, like, how are we going to be able to progress as a species on the planet? Damn color lines. I'm talking about like species. Because unbeknownst to most of y'all, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, it isn't regular third dimensional beings that's in charge here, that's running this shadow government. You got fourth and fifth dimensional beings that are running this shadow government who have no human emotion, who have no soul whatsoever, and they're trying to take y'all out, all of us out, at the end of the day. So I'm just wondering, at what point in time do we all just come together and say, you know what, this whole thing is whack. We're in a new generation. We wasn't born back 400 years ago. We wasn't born back, hell, 60 years ago. You know what I'm saying? We weren't around to go through all the changes that our ancestors and that our people had to go through. But we're here in the now. And what I want to know is why can't we incorporate the change? You know, it starts with us. Why can't we come together and incorporate a change? So I'd like for you guys to go ahead and answer these questions, like under the comment box, and just let me know exactly how you guys feel about racism. Peace.